Well, let's go over to the tail of the tape for this lightweight contest. The Democratic Republic of Congo's Deakezi is the younger man by 5 years, but aside from age, the physical stats are identical. With the official introductions, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 16 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Donegal, Ireland, Irish Joe And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 12 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Doncaster, England, by way of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and when the action begins, our referee in charge, Dan Movahedi.
Third man in the octagon is Dan Movahedi. I can barely contain myself about this fight. 2 of the most dynamic fighters from this region are about to go head-to-head. I've been following their careers for a long time. Dan, what are we expecting early?
I think we're expecting Joe Duffy to close range quickly on Mark Deakezi and not allow him to start getting that kicking game established. For Mark Deakezi, it's a case of trying to find space in the octagon so he can be as dynamic as we've seen him in the past.
It's been a tough road for both of these fighters. Joe Duffy was supposed to fight in Adelaide, had a rib injury. Mark Deakezi has lost 3 fights now, so really didn't even expect to get another shot inside the octagon. So this is all good for him in his mindset. He's getting a bonus round.
But that's the UFC seeing this guy's potential and, not cutting him yet because they realize we've seen what he's capable of in these early fights. He moved to a different camp, and, sometimes throwing different things into the mix during training camp gives you too much to think about. He's a flow state fighter. He reads his opponent in front of him and has the athletic ability and technique to exploit those weaknesses.
Yeah. And Paul, going over to ATT, he was an unknown over there, so he was being used by some of the bigger names as their sparring partners, which didn't really help him in his UFC career.
Absolutely, and listen, that's something that we all go for. Beautiful time takedown there from Joe Duffy.
Yeah. Waited for Deakezi to throw that leg kick to bring his hips square and his legs together.
Nice job from Deakezi, though. Gets right back up to his feet. He's digging these underhooks. He's doing exactly what he needs to do here. He's trying to get that left arm underneath that right side, the right side of Joe Duffy, and he does a good job. Breaks out. This is where Deakezi wants to be, and he's doing a nice job. Already, you see some redness on the calf here of Joe Duffy from the calf kicks that Deakezi's already landed.
Yeah, and that's a very important thing to work on as well for Deakezi, given the fact that Joe Duffy stands so heavy on that lead leg as predominantly a boxer. A good return there from Joe Duffy, though. You've got to think that Mark Deakezi needs to start setting up those low kicks.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. And you see him pump faking and almost throwing himself off balance because it's not there. And that's a moment that a guy like Joe Duffy, you do that too many times to, he's going to get that timing, and that's when he's going to crack you.
Yes, absolutely.
Crisp technique by both of these operators. We expected nothing less. And Joe Duffy showing us those kicks, which he said have been missing from his game for a little while.
Yeah, a lead crescent kick from Joe Duffy. The danger with doing that if you're Duffy is that you're going to remind Mark Deakezi of what he's capable of.
Yeah, anything you can do, I can do better.
Exactly.
Right.
Looks like that was checked by Joe, but there's Joe. He's looking for elbows. You see him trying to set this up. He feinted it up the middle, and I think that's knowing that Deakezi's explosive. He's got to close the distance fast, right? Well, what's the best way to meet that and counter that?
Ooh, nice low calf kick there by Deakezi. That floored Duffy.
Oh, that's going to start affecting him.
Yeah, we've seen this happen a lot. As well as being damaged in the foot and kind of losing control of your foot placements.
I mean, we're seeing bruising on both of the lead legs of the fighters, but certainly on Joe Duffy, it's starting to look worse. Lower down towards the calf as well.
Well,
always looks worse on that Irish.
I was just going to say, I feel Joe there. He can't hide that red mark, that's for sure. I could go in there and flick him with my fingers and he'd end up with a huge red mark.
If you get caught with one of those from Deakezi, you're losing teeth.
Yeah, he is called the Bone Crusher, John.
Yeah. He should have teeth. Bone and teeth crusher. Oh.
Oh, that leg kick is starting to really work. That's a smart game plan coming in here from Deakesi.
Well, the good thing for Joe Duffy is he has one of the brightest minds in our sport, Faraz Zahabi, in his corner. He is a tri-star product these days, and if anyone can change up a game plan on the fly, it's got to be him. And that's an explosive sprawl if ever I've seen one.
What a surprisingly fast sprawl that was. That was incredible. Didn't even touch the floor.
Not at all. Disappearing hips.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm impressed with Deakesi is he's going after that leg early, right? And he tends to fade, right? But if you hurt your opponent to the point where they can't have that footwork that they're known for, they're on your pace for the rest of the fight. It slows everything down.
Absolutely. I mean, we've already seen Joe Duffy switch now. How comfortable he is in his southpaw stance is now another question. That also opens. Oh! Lead elbow from Mark Deakesi!
Joe's recovering.
He has his wits about him. He's back to his feet, but Deakesi looking creative.
Switch stance is exposed now because he's standing southpaw. The right kick to the body is there, but he was not expecting that lead elbow over the top, over the lead hand. Beautiful body kick as well.
Joe Duffy has got to figure something out here. He's either got to get this fight to the ground or start finding his timing with his hands, because right now Deakesi is slowly just starting to pick him apart.
Lovely work there by Mark Deakesi. We're going to see round number 2 in 30 seconds.
Working, yeah? You sprawled on him.
Listen up. We got to take him deep into the rounds, okay? You're doing a good job, okay? It's a tough first round, but we're going to take him deep. Listen to me, Duff. I want you to walk like this towards it. Chin down, not too much boxing anymore. Chin down, lots of tie leg. Tie. Walk him down, smother him, tie clinch him, knees, elbows, okay? Because you're kind of walking around like this with
Welcome
boxing.
back to London, where we're watching Joe Duffy on the stool and some of the damage to the lower part of his left leg.
Yeah, I mean, look at these. You can see Mark Deakesi doing a good job now, starting to set those kicks up after he was taken down off the first few he threw. Chopping into that lead leg, took the base away entirely of Joe Duffy there. And that stepping elbow, once Joe Duffy had switched to southpaw. Really, really nice work.
Watch those fingers, please.
The confidence is on the rise.
Beautiful elbow. You know me, that is my bread and butter right there. And it doesn't matter who's in there. I can appreciate that. That's beautiful work so far here from Mark Deakesi.
And Joe Duffy coming out southpaw this time. Interesting.
These calf kicks, man, it's amazing, right? I mean, it's so fun to sit back. Nice body.
Lovely work there by Deakesi. So Duffy being told by his head coach for us to come out in that stance.
But you can tell he's not quite as comfortable in a southpaw stance as he is orthodox, because instinctively when he's moving around, he switches back to orthodox before he corrects himself.
Because that's where he feels comfortable defensively. That's the problem with switching stances. Duke Rufus always harps on us about that. He's like, look, if you're going to switch and hit them with something explosive and powerful and go right back to your normal stance. You can't hang out there too long. You don't know how to defend there.
Right, so it's the defensive element, not necessarily the offensive element.
No, not at all. Yeah, I mean, I can throw one of my... Nice job here. Oh,
rolled out.
This is where Joe wants to be. This might have been a little bit of a mistake, in my opinion, for Deakesi to take this fight to the ground after you're dominating the stand-up.
Remember the Dan Hooker fight?
Yeah.
That was an ill-timed takedown, in my opinion. However, we spoke to Mark about that. He felt like he'd got the round in the bag.
And we know that Joe Duffy's got attacks off his back as well. Armbar triangle against, was it Jake Lindsay, one of his earlier fights?
Yeah.
Ivan George. Ivan George, a black belt. That's why I remember that one. He's a good black belt. I mean, you know, Joe Duffy is very, very dangerous off his back. The other thing that works for him here is that there's no pressure on that damaged leg.
Yeah, he can hang out here. As long as he doesn't take any big damage, he can just slowly work his jiu-jitsu and try to set something up. You see him grabbing the head. He's trying to control that posture when he can.
Yeah, so
he's angling off here, too.
That Dan Hooker fight was the last time he was finished. It was by submission. Oh, they're having a little fun in there as well. Oh, they're stood up.
Okay. Interesting.
And they fight on. Duffy still in that southpaw stance, which is not natural from what we've seen from him. But he's been away a little while, always working on new stuff. And again, Deakesi going back to that lead leg.
And Deakezi seems far more comfortable switching stances as well.
Joe's having trouble even standing on that foot right now. He just got wobbled. Now
he's going to go for the other one, right?
Yep, of course.
Yeah, you can even see how uneven, unsteady Joe Duffy is when he's stepping his weight onto that left leg. He's not even able to plant his foot.
No, that's what I saw. See, he tried to hop around for a second. As soon as he did, it was just immediately wobbled.
I mean, we saw how debilitating that was in Henry Cejudo's second attempt at the flyweight title. I mean, completely took him out for the first round. Was able to come back, get the movement back in his leg. But, I mean, Deakezi's not letting him up with these low kicks. Keeps chopping in, now obviously working the front leg as well. Joe Duffy trying to close distance here.
Just watch the body language of Deakezi for a second, because in that moment, it looked like he was starting to tire just a little bit.
That's been the problem, right? It's never been the skills or the ability to finish a fight. But when somebody's durable, like a Joe Duffy, against close, we saw that, right, where he fades and gets pressured, and also got hurt so badly with leg kicks in that fight. So it's actually fun to see somebody like Deakezi go, okay, what were these opponents that were better than me in the moment beating me with, and come in. But Joe's also doing something I like. He's waving him on too, and he's getting in his grill a little bit, trying to bring out a brawl. What's that going to do? Gas out Mark if he doesn't finish him, and give Joe a chance to get in here and catch him.
Hotlanta gets a good one on pay-per-view. Max Holloway looks to avenge his 2012 loss to Dustin Poirier with the interim lightweight title at stake. Plus, Gastelum versus Adesanya for the interim middleweight championship. UFC 236, Saturday, April 13th, only on pay-per-view. And catch the prelims on ESPN at 8 o'clock. Tickets are on sale now.
Nice work again by Deakezi getting the takedown here. Looks to be circling to the back. Possibly try and get a hook in here as Joe Duffy stands up.
Oh, that would be a huge,
wouldn't it,
feather in the cap for Deakezi if he can get a sub.
Look at that, tripling the output. Deakezi, 33 strikes.
Yeah, good knees to the legs as well. Really good work. Just, you know, it's just money in the bank over and over again. We've still got one more round to go, but you got to think the damage and the wear that Joe Duffy's taken, he's not going to feel at his best going into this third round. Even though he's tired, he's still going to feel like he's way ahead on the scorecards, and at least in the physical condition as well, he's going to be ahead.
Deakezi's showing good awareness in these ranges as well. Good head position, pummeling under very quickly, answering back. Last 10 seconds. Looks like we're going to see the next round. We'll be back after the break.
We're going to take him deep now. It's the third round, last round. Yes, sir. We're going to walk him down. He's got nothing for you, okay? Stay smart. You're over punching a little, okay? You're exposing yourself. I want you to walk in shielding, getting close to him, making him work. The short shots, knees, elbows, but short. Okay? Don't wing it. Yeah. Short, because you're missing the target when you wing it. Short shots. Keep walking him down. Keep walking him down. He doesn't get out of this round. You hear me? Yeah. That's your mission.
Right leg's hurt. Go back for that kick him again. Yeah. Hide that kick.
Nice deep breaths. Bring that heart rate down. You're super fit. He's hurt now. He's fading. He's going down. You're coming up now. It's going to be your strongest round. It's going to be your strongest round, yeah? You're going to finish him.
Let's do what we do.
Welcome back. Round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. And we have seen a fine battle before us. Third and final round, all to play for. Duffy being told that Deakezi's not allowed to come out of this third round. Obviously, Faraz believes they need a finish, guys.
Well, I would agree with him on that one. He's definitely down 2 rounds.
I don't even know what that was, but it looked really good.
It's a kick I could never do in Taekwondo back in the day.
Like a hurricane kick, like a tornado or something.
360
you
back
post
kick.
With the side kick. You post with the side kick on the midsection, bring the hook kick around the top. It's a traditional Taekwondo technique, which is why Joe Duffy wasn't caught with it, because he's probably seen that before, and he's probably one of the few fighters on the card that has seen a jump spinning kick like that.
A jump. Oh, it's as simple as okay. I thought it would be.
It's a hop side kick, and then you spring off the side kick into the spin. I mean, it just shows the the dynamic ability of Mark Deakezi, even when he's as tired as he's seeming at the moment.
You know what I'm starting to wonder? I wonder if that's part of a mental problem that Deakezi has, that he's not actually as tired as he thinks, but once the fight starts getting pushed to a pace, we all know, Dan, you know this just as much as I do, if not better, that in a fight versus training, it doesn't matter. You always feel tired, right? Yes. You always feel like something's not right. It's just the nerves and the pressure of the moment. Yeah. And that might just get to him more than other fighters. And
lovely work there by Deakezi, who's been working with a number of pro boxers up in Doncaster, like Lee Connolly and Denzel Brown. So getting those looks that are familiar with Joe Duffy's style. And he's not averse to exchanging in those ranges either.
Now, the fast hands of Mark Deakezi are somewhat of a leveler here when it comes to the technical side of boxing. I mean, Joe Duffy's got good boxing skills, but obviously that's based on traditional movement patterns of boxing, whereas Mark Deakezi's coming in at all different kinds of angles, making it difficult to predict. Good footwork, though, by Joe Duffy.
Yeah, really nice. He was told to pressure Deakezi, which he's now trying to do.
Just takes one, right, to get you right back into the fight.
That's it. And if you can stay close enough to Deakezi to keep lighting him up with those hands and, you know, smother the kicks.
You just saw right there, though, as soon as he even angles off and he loses his balance. Nice uppercut.
It's also worth mentioning that Stephen Ray was supposed to be the opponent for Mark Deakezi first. So Joe Duffy's come in. They had to literally, the Deakezi team, tear up the script and start again against a very tricky operator.
Oh, they're doing a great job.
Different fighters as well.
Absolutely. They've done a great job so far.
Great work by Deakezi. Staying on that body lock. Turns around to the back. Joe Duffy's looking to fight the hands here. He's back to the feet, but he's still not broken free of this.
Can't break that grip. That grip must be like a vice.
And long arms as well. It's another benefit when it comes to reach. Having long arms, you always see John Jones getting his fingertips together on takedowns when other fighters wouldn't be able to meet their hands.
Onto a single leg here. He's definitely mixing in his wrestling and his striking, but even
his arts, for sure.
You know, this might be a case of Mark Deakezi allowing some of the wrestling ability that he picked up at American Top Team to find its way into his game. Now he's got his confidence back in the striking range. I mean, this is a really good performance of him so far. Very well rounded, calculated, not taking too many risks, very mature.
And you just got to hope, you know, for both these guys, especially Joe Duffy, that any of the, you know, lingering injuries that he had maybe leading into this weren't affecting him. You know, both guys coming off little layoffs and some losses, and you just hope that they're 100% in there, because just the grappling of Joe doesn't seem to be quite there. I wonder if it's the legs that are bothering him. Or...
Yeah, I think that surely that mobility has been a big problem for him.
Yeah, he just can't seem to once you have no balance, it's, man, when you try to grapple with somebody, especially somebody as strong as Deakezi, you need everything underneath you, especially your legs. Once they go, in MMA, that's it. It's so hard to battle back when your legs, especially your calves, you're not on your toes, you can't spring off.
Yeah, even in this position as well, Paul, right, as he's trying to...
There's no explosiveness,
Always looking to roll through, maybe, but...
Credit to Joe, yeah, he's going for it. He's going for whatever he can do here to try to get back into this fight and get a late finish.
25 seconds left, third and final round.
Wrist control there from Deakezi, beautiful job. Really smart, intelligent fight that he fought here. Mixed in with some of that craziness that he's known for. But at the end of the day, being a mixed martial artist, getting in there, wrestling when he needs to. Oh, and he kicked the leg again there.
Yeah, just kicked it through. Nice little trick.
Straight through to mount.
It's a very strong position in which to finish the contest. Lovely work there by Mark Deakezi. We'll see what the judges think when we're back after the break.
This program is sponsored by Bet365.
Is on for national championship. The kind of moments they talk about for a lifetime.
The Two Tasty deal from Domino's. 2 medium pizzas and 1 sumptuous side for only $19.99. Domino's, the official food of everything.
Find your brand new car with Auto Trader. For a large choice of brand new cars. Start something new today with Auto Trader.
This program is sponsored by Bet365.
Welcome back to London. We have just seen the final bell of this lightweight fixture. Mark Deakezi racing ahead with the significant strikes. Just look at that in the third round. He ate 5 but delivered 29. And that was a similar story in 2 and 1. Let's get it inside to hear the judges' decision. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Mark Bone Crusher Deakezi.